Okay, I'm going to tell the Gris Gris story. Back in the day, is probably 1997-98 time frame when I was active duty military with the U.S. Army Special Forces. I was a senior weapons sergeant on ODA, and my junior was a fellow by the name of Gris. We were running a mission in Chad, Northern Africa, and we're doing small unit tactics and weapons training with the Chadians. And one unique aspect about the Chadians is they absolutely believe in voodoo. And the Gris Gris, you spell that G-R-I-S, Gris Gris, is how it's pronounced, is like their amulets or their little medicine bags that protect them from specific threats. Whatever the individual wants, they work it out with the voodoo chief of the ville to produce the Gris Gris for the individual that will protect them from specific threats in combat or evil spirits and that type of thing. Well, during our tenure with the Chadians, we had spoke to the voodoo chief about making us some Gris Gris, which is a very socioeconomic, geopolitical sensitive subject with them, simply because we're white men. So through this, it was about a 3-week negotiation, we finally convinced him that we were worthy enough for him to put his efforts into producing us some Gris Gris. And me and Gris, we were pretty excited about it too, because we were expecting to get some really intricate, nice Gris Gris. And over this period of time of the deployment, we were coming up short in respect to rotating back to the States. And so we kind of put a little pressure on them to produce the Gris Gris for me and Gris. And of course we had to test it, because basically we wanted our Gris Gris to protect us specifically against small arms fire. So the time came, we linked up with the Superfet of the ville, or the village chief, as well as the voodoo chief, and they were being super secretive about our Gris Gris. They would not let us see it until the appropriate time. So in order to ballistically test our Gris Gris, me and Gris went to the market and got a good-sized goat, stuffed him in the Hummer, and went and picked up the Superfet of the ville and the voodoo chief, and we went out to the range that we had constructed. Dragged the goat out of the Hummer, we got around the goat, and kind of went through this ceremonious type presentation of the Gris Gris. And when me and Gris saw the Gris Gris, we both shot each other a look like, whoa dude, here we go. Because the Gris Gris was this little cheap Chinese lock that was encased in goat skin leather, very poorly stitched, and had what looked like a piece of torn bed sheet, blue bed sheet, for a loop around this lock. And we were kind of like, whoa dude, because we had already agreed that if it was some very cool, intricate stuff, the Gris Gris was going to work, meaning the goat would survive. But if it was, you know, less than what we had expected and put our time and energy into, of course the goat was going to get it. So we kind of looked at the Gris Gris and we're kind of like, whoa dude, shot each other a look. Gris had a camera, Gris was taking the photos, and we hung the Gris Gris around the goat's neck, and basically I went to execute the goat. I raised the pistol up and fired my first shot, but I raised the pistol up so aggressively it startled the goat, and he bucked and he ducked, so the first shot missed. Well, the goat took off at a dead run down, and he was running parallel to the berm that we had constructed, which was approximately 100 yards long. Well, the goat was running directly away from me, so what I did is I took an oblique angle and I sprinted out So basically I would gain terrain on the goat as he was running. I sprinted roughly about 30 yards. I stopped, I locked up, started tracking the goat, and shot that goat through the head at a dead run, and he just piled up. And the unique and very cool thing about it is Chris actually took a photo at the precise moment the goat was in his death dive to the dirt, and you could see a plume of dust behind the goat of the round impacting the earth. I still have that photo to this day, as well as the Gris Gris. The problem was, what we didn't expect is the Superfay of the Ville absolutely lost confidence in his voodoo chief because the goat perished. So it kind of left us in a quandary. We're sitting here thinking, okay, how are we going to work this out? And we had to painstakingly explain to the Superfay of the Ville that the Gris Gris initially did work because the goat was able to dodge the first shot. Even though he didn't survive the second shot, he survived the first one. So it was touch and go there for a while, and of course we had to politically manage this incident in order for the voodoo chief to save face with the Superfay of the Ville. And we had a nice sit-down dinner, had to explain to the Superfay of the Ville several times in respect to the goat surviving the first attempt on the goat's life. And of course, everything worked out. Of course, I still have the photos, still have the Gris Gris. I can back this story up 100%. Just keep in mind, when you're traveling in foreign countries, you know, based on your actions and what takes place, you can cause some, you know, serious cultural problems or political problems. You just got to be careful. But it was probably, to this day, the single most excellent pistol shot I've ever delivered. That goat was running flat out for his life, and he knew it. And I was able to lock up, track him, and deliver I was using an M9 Beretta, deliver a double action shot to his head at approximately 40 yards with him at a dead run. It was very cool. And that's all I got.
Pantio.